Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, I have a story for you about two very notorious MAGA men that you guys are going to recognize who were just outed for selling pardons for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Donald Trump pardons. If you guys have been following this whole MAGA shit show for like the past 10 years, maybe even not even that long, you're definitely going to remember them. You're going to remember them because they have gotten into all kinds of other legal trouble in the recent past. So check this out. Check out the latest. So, Notice news outlet just published this report. So what they said is that, MAGA con artists Jacob Wall and Jack Burkman, they are selling pardons. And evidently, these two idiots took $600 from the man you see here on your screen. This is a rapper named Boozy Badass. So anyway, so they promised Mr. Badass a pardon from Donald Trump. And the article says that, quote, the act of clemency would have wiped away his federal rap sheet and saved him from an imminent sentencing hearing for possessing a firearm as a felon. But that pardon never materialized. Now, Boozy, whose legal name is Torrance Hatch, is taking legal action against Jacob Wall and Jack Burkman, two far-right political operatives and lobbyists at J.M. Burkman and Associates, to recoup half of Boozy's payment, as stipulated in the contract, notice reviewed. Now, Wall and Burkman are refusing to pay. They're claiming that, first of all, they're claiming they don't owe him this money and this wasn't part of the agreement. They're also saying they're broke. And apparently Notice has looked at text messages that they've been sending to Boozy and his attorney. And effectively they're saying, oh, we're bankrupt. We don't have any money, which I fully believe. And I'll explain why. For anybody who doesn't remember what happened with these guys recently. But according to Boozy's attorney, Boozy, I don't know. Anyway, he heard through the grapevine that Burkman and Wall had secured 9 different pardons for other people. Well, that appears to be bullshit, because Notice did some research and they said, yes, they did get one. It appears like one of their clients got a pardon from Donald Trump. It was a nursing home executive. Guy's name is Joseph Schwartz. So he did get a pardon, but there's no 9 people. It was like there weren't eight other people that they could find. Well, in a statement to Notice, Burkman said this. He said, no provision to return half the fee was ever actually agreed to. As I mentioned, though, Notice has actually reviewed the contract. It clearly says that Boozy is entitled to a partial refund. Here's what Notice wrote. So they said, Burkman and Boozy each signed a contract reviewed by Notice on September 30. The contract, meaning it was signed on September 30. The contract is riddled with typos and errors, including a provision that would allow Boozy to request a partial refund of the $600,000 fee if the lobbyist had not secured a presidential pardon by close of business on January 31st, 2025. Several months before the agreement was signed. Even so, both parties acknowledge that that date at the time was meant to be for 2026, according to Kraft, Boozy's lawyer. So it was supposed to be January 31st, 2026. They signed this contract September 30th of last year, 2025. So the dates were off, but everyone has agreed that, yes, this is legitimate, and it was just supposed to be dated a different year. Anyway, Boozy told Notice that these guys were, quote, really aggressive, and that they were talking like they had Trump on speed dial. That's a direct quote. I bet they were. I bet, yeah, because they're desperate. So Boozy, he has now filed a claim in arbitration court. He's trying to get back at least $300,000 of this money. And here's the thing. I can't feel sorry for this guy. I mean, first of all, yeah, you are a felon in possession of a weapon. So there's that. But also, if he had done just even a cursory search online, if he had done 2 minutes of research on Berkman and Wall, he would have known these guys are full of shit. They're the biggest liars on the planet next to Trump. These are the guys who would hold press conferences and they would summon the press. Oh, we have this big story to break. Like they did one about Elizabeth Warren and tried to claim that she was having some really hot love affair with some young guy. She was cheating on her husband with some young guy. It was so stupid because everybody was like, go Elizabeth, like go Warren. Good for you. Get it, girl. Like you're getting up there. You can get some young guy, some hot young guy. Totally backfired. But of course, it was bullshit. And they've done this to so many Democrats. And then what comes out later, and they've been totally busted for this, is that they pay these people. And a lot of times, they don't even tell these people the truth. So they'll like pay a young guy, but tell him, oh, we're just going to have you act. We're going to have you pretend that this is like a scene for a movie, or like they just bullshit them as well to get them, manipulate them into doing these things and lying. And some people backed out at the last minute and they were like, figured out what it was. And they're like, I don't want any part of this. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get sued, right? For defamation or something. So, anyway, beyond that, the reason that they're broke is because these are the guys who were busted after the 2020 election because they were running this racist robocall scheme. They were trying to suppress the black vote for Joe Biden. So I'm sure you guys will remember this. Okay. These guys are just, I mean, they're not the brightest, first of all, but they're just the most unscrupulous pieces of shit. And so, yeah, they got taken to court. I think it was the Michigan governor or Michigan AG. I can't remember which state it was, but they got busted for numerous different states that they were pulling this. And they had set up a robocall that would go to black residents in particular, saying that, hey, if you're thinking about going out and voting, just know that if you do, you're subject to fines, and you can, if you have any warrants out against you, they literally use someone's voice, a woman's voice, saying the man is going to come after you. If you have any debts outstanding, they can come after you, blah, blah, blah. Just gross, just completely and thoroughly gross. And Wall's daddy, by the way, is an attorney. He's here in California, in my neck of the woods, and he used to be a Fox News commentator. So he used to be able to get his little boy, little Jackie, or Jacob, out of all of these messes that he got into. And then all of a sudden it got real. It got really real. And he committed a federal crime. So anyway, that's who these guys are. Now they're grifting people for Trump pardons. Because why not? I mean, that was just, the next on the line of progression with them. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share so other people can get a good laugh. Subscribe if you have not. Check to make sure you are still subscribed. And if you can donate, really, really appreciate it. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.